What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so I don't know how long this war between Ukraine and Russia has gone on. I think it's been 2.5 years, I believe. But anyway, it drags on and on and on with no real end in sight. And the rhetoric recently really got hot between the leaders of Ukraine and Russia. I think it was back in August when Vladimir Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, made a threat against the Russia leadership and the Russian, I guess, people, saying that they have weapons, of course, supplied to them by the United States through what seems like dozens of fucking packages. You know what I'm saying? Weapons and packages, via our money and our weaponry. But anyway, he said that we have weapons, American weapons, that will require you all to go into bomb shelters. Talking about, I guess, the power of some of these weapons, the effectiveness of some of these weapons. Well, Dmitry Medvedev, who's the former president of Russia, issued a threat not just to Zelensky and Ukraine, but to the United States, saying that, well, we have weapons, Russia, that a bomb shelter won't protect you against. And he's obviously talking about radiation, which means he's talking about nuclear weapons. Of course, nuclear weapons, that makes people very nervous. That type of rhetoric made the United States so nervous that the Trump administration strategically moved some nuclear warheads on ships a little bit closer to the Russia coast in response. Okay. Now, recently, Trump spoke to his generals at Quantico, Virginia, and supposedly this comes after an emergency meeting was called between Pete Hegseth, former Fox News personality, now all of a sudden, for some fucking reason, Secretary of Defense, and his top 100 generals, I believe, across the country. It was an unprecedented meeting, and reportedly had something to do with Russia. So I'm assuming that there's some things going on that we don't know about. But of course, the media is not doing their job. The media is paid and bought for. There's no such thing as independent media anymore, except for on social media, and they're trying to get rid of all of us. And, they rather talk about soft, stupid shit like, gossip news and sex and celebrities and all this stupid shit that doesn't mean anything. All right? We're a real live idiocracy. We're the movie Idiocracy that came out 20 years ago. We are that now. We're a real life idiocracy, anti-intellectuals, anti-morals, anti-Christian. That's what we are. But anyway, get back on topic. Trump started talking about nuclear weapons, right? And how it's almost taboo to use that word, right? The N word. And he was equating it to like the other, or comparing it to the other N word, right? In our culture that you're not supposed to use. And I just feel like we don't understand what the fuck he's talking about here. Like, well, how do you even make that comparison between a weapon that will annihilate literally hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people, depending upon where it's used strategically? A weapon that, if used in a concentrated enough amount, can wipe out civilizations. You're comparing it to a word that you don't get to use. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand the obsession with that fucking word, man. But here he is.
Of nuclear, and it was really a stupid person that works for him mentioned the word nuclear. I moved a submarine or two, I won't say about the two, over to the coast of Russia, just to be careful, because we can't let people throw around that word. I call it the N word. There are two N words, and you can't use either of them. You can't use either of them. And frankly, if it does get to use, we have more than anybody else. We have better, we have newer, but it's something we don't ever want to even have to think about. But when somebody mentions it, that submarine started immediately thereafter.
You know, technically, he's not right at all. Russia has more nuclear warheads than the United States. They've had more nuclear warheads than the United States, I would say at least since I want to say the 70s, definitely the 80s. Now they've gotten rid of tens of thousands of them, and we've gotten rid of a lot of them, but they have more than we do. And I don't know about us having the better, more. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, a nuclear weapon is a nuclear weapon. Who gives a fuck if ours have a larger blast radius? Who gives a fuck about that, man? Who cares if one country has a weapon that will kill or unalive, 900,000 people, and the other country has one that unalive 1.4 million people? Who really gives a shit at that point? Does it really make a difference? It's mutually assured destruction. And once again, we get to my other point. Why the comparison with the N word? Why are they so obsessed with that word? Why? I don't understand for life of me. What is the obsession with using that fucking word? You don't see them obsessing over using the slur for Chinese people, or slurs for Jewish people, or slurs for Mexicans. Why the obsession with wanting to use that word and call us that so much, but then you have a nerve to say you're not a racist? It makes no sense. I'm not obsessed with using the B word for women. I don't have to use that. There's no way around it. And I don't care if, well, why do black people get used? Who cares? Why do disabled people get to use wheelchairs? Well, why can't I use a wheelchair even though I'm able-bodied? Why do you care? It's just stupid. But you got people still defending Trump. Oh man, I mean, he's clearly talking about the word nincompoop. How do you know he's even talking about? Man, shut up, man. Yeah, historically, people have just been completely downtrodden by the use of the word nincompoop. Shut the fuck up.